facial plastic and reconstructive surgeon. You can find me at knows-about-face.com. That's with a K. Today I'm going to talk about not the early phase of rhinoplasty recovery, but the late phase of rhinoplasty recovery. So I'm going to presume you've gone through the ice and elevation and degumming and decrusting of that first week. And so we're talking now about the coming weeks and months after rhinoplasty or septorhinoplasty surgery. After the first week, generally people have turned the corner with recovery and feeling much happier about life. Generally that transition is when the rubber splits and the cast comes off a nose. What we advocate at a week is we encourage and cheerlead people that the nasal airway is starting to decongest. Their nose is, the congestion is lifting at about 1 to 2 weeks. Though people are bothered by the crusting and dryness, which lasts for about a month. I try and have people hold on tightly because often there's an important airway component to this, but the best airway is something greater than 6 weeks. It's really more like 12 weeks, but most people can't tell the difference between 6 and 12 weeks. In the first weeks after the surgery, we strongly encourage the use of saline or saline gel sprays and any kind of background humidification. Your nose likes moisture, dryness, apart from increasing crusting and gumminess, helps improve a sense of an improved airway. The swelling on the outside is a slow process, unfortunately. I tell people that they're dinner party ready at 2 weeks, in that though there is a level of swelling at 2 weeks, you can see the shape coming out in the nose, the airway has markedly improved, you get a sense for the positive direction we'd expect you to be heading. At 2 weeks, we also start encouraging what we call finger exercises or nasal massage. The nose, as the swelling lifts it up and as the swelling comes down, it can cant left and right. So it's very important to pay attention to symmetry and straightness. And the finger exercises that we advocate try and encourage the nose to stay in the midline. We're essentially manipulating the nose with the intention of keeping it in the midline as it heals and cements in place. There are a number of ways to do this with a straight finger that bridges both the bony and the cartilaginous nose. We have someone put their finger parallel to the bridge, but to the side of the bridge, and press directly sideways if we're trying to manipulate a nose from say right to left. You push, of course, right to left. And I encourage, say, 5 revolutions or repetitions, maybe 5 times a day. The first 5 weeks or so are the most important, but you can manipulate a nose really through 5 to 6 months, because it's in that time period that the nose is remodeling, so that's an important time frame. At around the 2 and 3 week phase, there can be some swelling that's not so much related to surgery, but part of the scarring process. We always pay attention to see if it's worthy to consider a steroid injection. That's something we actively consider and most often do not perform. I perform it in less than 1 in 20 cases, but it's something that we actively think about. As people continue to improve, they get more and more excited about how the airway is improving and the shape changes are coming to show. I call 3 months a early post-op because it's a time when you can get a good sense of where you stand and where the future will be. The differences between 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months, though the last 2 may be a more formal definition of a post-op, are subtle and often only differentiated with photographs. Having said that, the nose can be slightly numb through the 3-month phase, and at about 3 months that disappears. There is often stiffness in the nasal tip and the bridge where we've pinned the tip into place. As all the surgical swelling abates, the nose starts to feel more and more like itself. The swelling leaves the nose last in the tip, and so if there is ever tip work, it's a kind of delayed gratification in seeing the fine tuning or say the fine resolution of rhinoplasty surgery comes to fore late. So, and how I describe it is, if you feel stiffness in the tip, it means there's swelling in the tip, and the finer narrowing of the tip, if that's what we've done, comes as is visible as that swelling abates. So it's a long process, but people feel fine. Just to recap, in the 3 to 5 day range most commonly. Airway congestion starts improving markedly at around 2 weeks, though it's a much slower process to regain the best airway. And careful intranasal care of membranes with humidification is a difference maker between happiness and unhappiness. And then paying attention to symmetry is something I like people to pay attention to on a daily basis through to the end. I hope this is helpful. Visit us at knows-about-face or virginiaent.com. I hope this has been useful.